Two Rivers Talks is brought to you by Two Rivers Biz Starts. Also by Two Rivers Main Street. And by Raleigh Point Economic Advising. And by viewers like you. Thank you.
Welcome everybody to Two Rivers Talks, your connection for all things Two Rivers, whether it be the arts, the business scene, or just things that are going on around town. We're your connection spot. We hope that we're the place that you choose to come to learn more about all those things. I'm Todd, and this is my friend Darla. And we have some really great stuff lined up today, in addition to the usual news, fun, and music. We're also going to be introducing a new segment called How's It Hangin'? During which Darla will get us up to speed with what's new at the art gallery. And we're also going to be visiting our good friend, Mr. Russove, during our Main Street Minute segment. So stay with us. We've got a lot of excitement ahead. Buckle up, my friends.
We're bursting at the seams.
That's right, we are bursting at the seams.
So I will burst first.
Woo, let me sit back here.
Let me move out of the way. And word of the day. I will take it away.
You take it away.
Okay.
Take it away. Yes.
All right. The word of the day is lambent.
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 Okay.
Dealing lightly and gracefully with the subject, brilliantly playful. There is the lightning wit that flashes of a short sentence or an apt reply, and there is the lambent wit that sparkles either by description or dialogue. Walter Sidney Sitchell, the wit and humor of Lord Beaconsfield.
Lord Beaconsfield. You say Lord Biggles or something. Yeah.
Bigglesworth.
Now, would you say you're a lightning wit or a lambent wit?
I'm both.
I've been called a nit wit.
I don't know. Am I quick on my toes or am I a flash of brilliance?
You've been both on occasion.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
I guess, yeah, that makes sense. Lambent.
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 Right.
Very good. Good word of the day.
I thought so.
Thank you, Darla.
You're welcome.
In the news, we've got a couple of great headlines here. Let's see. So Cedar Crest wins 3 awards at the World Dairy Expo in Madison. This is exciting stuff. The company placed first with their rainbow sherbet and got second in the peanut butter and French vanilla categories, just missing out on the top spot for both. The win was a big accomplishment as PB&J is a new flavor for them in 2019. I can't wait to try that.
I know.
Sounds really good. Cedar Crest is headquartered in Cedarburg. It turns out well over 100 flavors of their product at its local facility. They try and change the flavors up every year. They're just fortunate once in a while when they hit on some big winners.
Right.
Yeah.
I want to try the PB&J. That just
tasty.
sounds really good.
Either really actually, the rule of thumb is the more disgusting it sounds, the better it probably is. Yeah.
I have found that to be true in my lifetime. But anyway, on to the next headline. Briess officially unveils new mural. The design incorporates things like the SS Cobia, the Manitowoc Lighthouse, and Manitowoc Lincoln High School, and the bright colors signify the bright future of the city. Some people are rather sad to see the old Budweiser bottle and can mural get covered up. But the new mural is a vinyl sheet, so the old mural is still intact. And just remember, people were sad to see the old RAR logo covered as well. But sometimes you just need to update and change with the times.
As my mother is fond of saying, everything changes.
Right.
So that's just the way it goes.
Absolutely.
I'm excited. I saw the mural. I think it looks great.
I think it's wonderful.
It's a nice image for the city.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I got stuck in traffic in Manitowoc but I was faced the right way, so at least I got to enjoy it for a good 5 minutes.
It's a nice entry to the town.
Yep. Yeah. Yes.
The Pinecrest Historical Village is celebrating its landmark 50th anniversary, and the dream of creating a historical village in Manitowoc first began to take shape in 1964. Throughout the following years, the creation of a historical village remained an important discussion. Even with no land to call home, the Historical Society moved forward with the dream of creating such a place. Today, thanks to Hugo and Eleanor Vetting's generous 1969 donation of their 40-acre homestead in the town of Manitowoc Rapids, the 60-acre museum preserves more than 30 structures and welcomes more than 12,000 guests each year.
Right.
I've been there. It's a great place.
Bill and I were married there in
No
the
way.
chapel.
Really?
And it was so cool. I love that place. Number one, I think it's an awesome place to go. And then second of all, the little chapel. It's nice and creaky, and it's, you know, it just has a lot of history to it, and it was very special. And then of course it was the old pump organ.
Oh yeah.
Old Wheezy.
Oh, fun. Old Wheezy.
Yeah.
Is that literally the name of the punk?
That's what I named it.
Okay, that's good. Yeah.
But so walking down the aisle to like, here comes the bride. It wasn't that bad, but you know what I mean. It was pretty
Let's
cool.
go into our blooper reel. Okay. Try to get that without context. Okay.
So 50 years worth of showing the love to Manitowoc County and
That's
preserving
wonderful.
our heritage.
That's
So
a great shout out to those guys. Congratulations.
absolutely.
I think this one's yours.
Is this mine?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I like this one. Manitowoc couple delivers baby at Quick Trip in Denmark.
Whoa.
I know. One Manitowoc couple got a quick and unexpected surprise. I called 911 at 10:41 p.m., said Tyler Gass. I looked at the road one more time, it felt like, and at 10:44 p.m., Callie was holding a new baby boy as we pulled into the Quick Trip parking lot. The new dad remembers what started as a trip to the hospital, ending with the birth of their son more than two months before his due date.
Wow.
Facebook comments range from, did they remember to swipe their rewards card? And free Glazers for life. A lot of people also had name suggestions like Katie, Quick, and Karuba. Little Camden Jeffrey continues to grow stronger every day in the NICU, the neonatal intensive care unit. The couple said they never expected to give birth to their son at a Quick Trip in Denmark, but they say the Wisconsin-based company has played a major role in their relationship since the beginning. We met at Quick Trip in 2008.
What?
Yes, her mom worked there, said Tyler Gass, who was also a Quick Trip employee. In 2010, we started dating, and yeah, Quick Trip has always been a big part of our lives.
Oh my goodness.
I just thought that was the coolest story.
It's a cute story. Well, congratulations to them both. Online tickets to Frida Kahlo?
Colin.
Kahlo, okay. I'm sorry how
That's
much I
okay.
know about this headline. Frida Kahlo 2020, Chicago area's largest Kahlo show in decades, to go on sale December 10th. So the exhibition, slated to run through August 31st, will feature 26 original works by the iconic 20th century Mexican painter on loan from, not the painter, he's not on loan, it's
It's a she.
she's not on loan, it's the 26. I'm telling you how like ignorant I am
Oh.
of this
I'll
artist.
educate you.
You gotta
afterwards.
educate me about this. 20th century Mexican painter on loan from Mexico City's Museo Dolores Olmedo, along with supplementary materials.
Right.
So people are going to be able to buy $18 timed entry tickets via the exhibition website. There's also going to be untimed entry tickets, allowing visitors the flexibility to choose any visiting time on their ticket's date for $35. The more expensive tickets are on sale now, but they can be bought only in person at the box office or by calling. Set to be on display are famous paintings, including Portrait of Alicia Gallant, which Kahlo identified as her first work of art, the self-portrait The Mask, and Broken Column, which references the artist's lifelong health struggles, according to Justin Witt, the curator and director of the gallery. The curator said that this many Kahlo works have not been shown together in Chicago since the exhibition Frida Kahlo at the MCA in 1978.
This is huge.
Yeah,
We're already making plans to go.
this is cool.
This is huge. And just so you know, I do plan on, and they're probably running above us right now,
Okay.
but some photos of her work.
Oh,
So
okay.
so our viewers can see, you know,
That sounds wonderful.
because she was fantastic. And her story is really interesting. Interesting person.
Great.
120,000 ribbons hover where the Berlin Wall once stood to mark the 30-year anniversary of its fall. You were
Cool.
just a child at that time.
I remember it.
During a time when it seems like walls between individuals and nations are popping up left and right, we are also reminded of when walls were torn down and people were once again reunited. On November 9th, Berlin celebrated the 30th anniversary of the peaceful revolution and the fall of the Berlin Wall. The highlight of the celebration was Patrick Shern and his Poetic Kinetics team's colorful motion art installation comprised of 120,000 colorful fabric ribbons.
Wow, I want to see that.
I know.
Yeah.
The art installation, titled Visions in Motion, was set up in front of the Brandenburg Gate in Berlin, stretching along the walkway away from it. The vast art installation symbolizes unity of the German people. I can't believe it's been 3 decades.
That's incredible.
It seems like I know it sounds kind of pat, but it seems like it was just yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
It really does. And this is a special one for you, Todd.
In a lighter vein, a farmer invented calf earmuffs to keep newborn calves warm. This is cute. So it turns out earmuffs for calves to stop them from getting frostbite are a real thing. The idea came to farmer Holly Pode, owner of the Triple P farm in Lone Rock, Wisconsin, after her family lost their barn in a fire. Pode was desperate for a way to keep her newborn calves from getting frostbite and invested in calf jackets and a pair of calf earmuffs. In order to save money, she asked her Aunt Kim Ewers, who owns an embroidery business, if she could sew some additional pairs. So Ewers ran with the idea, coming up with the design that would eventually become moo muffs.
What did you say, Todd? What was it? What are they called?
Moo muffs,
Okay.
Darla. Pode posted the design to both the farm's Facebook page and on several show cattle social media groups, announcing that she was selling the moo muffs for $20 a pair. People clamored for their own pairs of moo muffs. Because of the demand, Pode eventually began working with a livestock supply company that would take care of production. Now, Moo Muffs has its own online home where interested parties can keep up with the developing brand and keep an eye out for Moo Muff deals. How's that for ingenuity? Oh, and apparently cow cuddling is also a thing now too.
I thought that was interesting. I had to throw that in.
I'd heard of cow tipping, but that was when I was in college, but this is a different thing entirely. Okay, cow cuddling, right.
No, it's more politically correct to cuddle them instead of tip them over now. Tipping was a lot more fun, I would think.
Right.
Oh, and on a sad note, end of an era. Fox City's Chuck E. Cheese animatronic band has its last waltz.
How sad.
Grand shoot. The most prolific band in the Fox Cities for more than 20 years has left the stage for good. The epic run of Munch's make-believe band, the Animatronic Gang, who've entertained thousands of youngsters and their parents at the Chuck E. Cheese restaurant near the Fox River Mall since it opened in April of 1998, ended last month. The robotic band, featuring a mouse, a chicken, a dog, a monster, and a mustachioed pizza maker, will burn out rather than fade away. The demise of the enduring performers was due to circumstances out of the band's control. Somebody unplugged it.
Yeah.
Chuck E. Cheese locations around the country are undergoing extensive renovations, removing the once buzzworthy bands, which I thought were really cool, in favor of a light-up dance floor. Boo.
I hope they preserve some of that.
I know.
Yeah.
End of an era.
UW Green Bay Manitowoc Campus Lakeshore Wind Ensemble will present Festival of Christmas. The Lakeshore Wind Ensemble at the UW Green Bay Manitowoc Campus with conductor Mark Sackman and the Lakeshore Big Band presents the annual Festival of Christmas on Saturday, December the 7th at 7:30 p.m. at the Capitol Civic Center in Manitowoc. You get to enjoy holiday favorites, including a dramatic reading of 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, program narration by TV host Tom Zalaski, and the popular audience Christmas Carol Sing-Along and the Festival of Christmas Children's Choir.
Yeah, that's going to be a really cool thing to go to. It's become a tradition,
Yeah, that's fantastic.
you know.
Really
So,
nice.
and it is that time of year again already, and so I mean it's events like this that really just make the whole season more enjoyable.
Absolutely.
You know.
Yep.
On to city info. Two Rivers City Council will be meeting on Monday, December the 2nd at 6 p.m. Location, it has not changed. It's Council Chambers, 3rd floor of City Hall. The agenda will be posted online.
Same bat time, same bat channel. Right. telling our story. The community branding project is continuing underway. Civic Brand Trip number 2 recap has been posted up on the website, branding2rivers.com or tworiversbranding.com. It's escaping me at the moment.
Branding2rivers.com.
Branding2rivers.com. Join it, sign up for the mailing list there so you never miss an update on what's happening, because this is something where we want a lot of community involvement. The goal of the second trip was to hold more engagement meetings with the public, lean into the brand principles and style diagnostics for the area, and get a sense of what life in Two Rivers is like outside of the summer beach season. And as they found out, there's quite a lot.
Oh boy.
So they visited Woodland Dunes. They held a public informational meeting at the community house. They hosted a workshop with city leaders to learn about how they use the brand in their day-to-day lives. They conducted one-on-one interviews with several local business owners to learn more about their businesses and their experience as business owners in Two Rivers. They held a focus group with high school students and recent graduates, so really kind of hitting the gamut of people in town here. Recent graduates to learn about what it's like to grow up in Two Rivers. They spent an evening at the Hamilton Woodtype Museum Ink and Drink event. They spent a morning on a charter fishing boat on Lake Michigan, and they spent an afternoon strolling through Ethnic Fest and experiencing the different performers and vendors at the festival. So what's happening next with these guys is they're going to be taking all of this stuff. They took a lot of footage, a lot of photographs around the area, collected a lot of stories. They're working on what they call their brand principles, finalizing that in their style diagnostics and brand goals. It's all explained on the website.
Right.
It's kind of jargony marketing terms, but there's purpose and reason behind these things. And then the next thing that will happen after that is they'll start to go into the design phase of the project. What kind of images can we use? What kind of language do we use to talk about the city? So it's going to be very exciting. So visit branding2rivers.com. Oh, there it is, right there in print. I just looked a little lower on the page to stay in the know about what's going on with the city's branding and marketing efforts.
Right, and so yeah, but go to the website because you'll be able to see the video that they came up with from their second trip, and also if you hadn't seen the video from the first trip,
right,
you'd be able to view that as well.
Do you want me to read this next one? Because it's about
yeah, that would make me a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah, so Darla LeClaire and City Manager Greg Buckley and Councilwoman Bonnie Shimolinas, did I say that right? Testified in Madison in support of Assembly Bill 347, which is about harbor dredging. Now, if you've watched some of our previous episodes, you know what that harbor dredging bill is about. It's an important one,
right?
To make it a lot easier to basically dredge out the harbor and not have to go through all the EPA kinds of checks and balances.
Right.
And because it's ridiculous, it's clean sand. It's being
exactly.
Moved, right. So this was introduced by Representatives Shea Sortwell and Brooks, co-sponsored by Senator Andre Jacques, and I guess you have to wait and see what happens. How did it go?
It went really well, and there's a chance that the three of us will be going back down to Madison to testify in front of the Senate.
Oh, very
on
good.
This, if it reaches
so you were in
that
front
point.
of the House this time?
No, this time it was in front of the Environmental Committee.
Oh, it was a committee, and now
right.
We'll go to the Senate after that.
Yeah, this was a public hearing, and then, but there's a good chance that we'll testify in front of the Senate.
Yeah.
But basically what it is that, like on our last dredging project, and this is clean sand, we don't have issues like other areas in the state where there were paper mills and there was a lot of pollutants.
We don't have the contamination.
Right, we do not have the contamination. But the thing is that whatever was dredged up had to be offloaded, put into dump trucks. I think they were 20-yard trucks, trucked out of town and put into a landfill, specially designated for this kind of, this kind of
they consider it waste. Right?
Oh.
Yeah.
1,100 round trips.
This is just huge expense.
A huge expense. And the thing is, and one of the things that I had brought up when we testified in Madison was the fact that we're at a 17-year high as far as the water level. We're losing our beach. Everybody sees that. And so if we're going to dredge it, let's put that clean sand back where we need it. We're not going to, whatever we can do to help stop erosion.
Yeah, absolutely.
And to nourish our beaches. And we were very well received, and I think it went very, very well. And thank you to Shay Sortwell and Andre Jacques for authoring this bill and getting it out there, and for helping our community, because it was Two Rivers that was the impetus for this bill.
Well, thank you for being a voice for us and doing civic duty, and something you didn't have to do. So it's great that you did that.
It was a real privilege. It really was. Oh, and if you follow the link down in our doobly, I got to say doobly-doo.
You get to say doobly-doo. All right, okay.
You can watch the testimony. It isn't very long. That was recorded by Wisconsin On.
Very good. Very good.
My turn?
Yeah, your turn.
All right. Governor Evers announces support for Wisconsin Lake Michigan National Marine Sanctuary. Evers was in Manitowoc to make an important announcement. This morning I sent a letter to the NOAA, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, to renew Wisconsin's support for the designation for our National Maritime Sanctuary. He went on to say the Wisconsin Lake Michigan National Marine Sanctuary would be the second of its kind in our country. It will provide educational benefits to families across the state and is projected to attract thousands of additional tourists each year, boosting tourism and economic growth in our beautiful coastal cities. The City of Two Rivers has been a staunch supporter of the sanctuary from the beginning in 2014, before it was delayed in February of last year. And you remember what a mess that was?
Yes, I do.
Okay. The sanctuary would encompass the Lake Michigan coastline from Port Washington up to Algoma. The next step is to get the sanctuary into the Federal Registry. NOAA must send a completed nomination form to the Office of Management and Budget. Congress will then have 30 days from time of receipt to comment. If no objections are raised, 2 public notices will be filed and the sanctuary designation becomes official. Fingers crossed that this goes smoothly, because it's hit a lot of road bumps.
This is something that's good for the area. I mean, the individuals that were raising concerns about this were not even from around here, were they? Or
they were not.
Yeah.
It is. Oh.
I don't want to open a can of worms, but
it was it was so hard to get those worms back in the can. Let me tell you. But the thing is that, and I understand that from their point of view, less government is best government. However, they were predicating their, the information that they were going off of was faulty information, faulty data. Mm-hmm. So it was a mess from day one. So, but I think the planets are aligning, mm-hmm. and what would be nice is once this happens, is that we could have the visitors center here in Two Rivers.
That would be so neat.
So we're already looking forward to how we can present our city in the best light and say, we are the place to have this.
Well, and if there are concerns about it, my hope is that it can be a data and fact-based discussion about what it can do, what are the pros and what are the cons, and going into it with our eyes open.
Absolutely.
On a little lighter note, welcome home to Two Rivers High School band students and Mr. Pagel, Ms. Ott.
I think it's Audie.
Miss Audie. Well, welcome back from your exchange visit to Two Rivers' sister city, Domalish, in the Czech Republic.
Domalish. That's okay.
This is not my day for pronouncing.
That's all right. That's why you have me.
That's right. Thank you. Thank you.
Anyway, so they all the kids got back in one piece, but I think that was a really wonderful trip that they were able to take. And I'm going to talk to the high school and see if I can get, if they'll send me some of their photos, and then we can do a little thing maybe on our next broadcast.
Very nice. Yeah.
So, and in regards to the new downtown Christmas decorations, they're up.
Yes.
Thank you, donors.
All right.
Next comes phase 2, which is decorative banners on double fixture poles at the intersections. New banner arms are ordered. Banner designs are being developed. And then phase 3 will be 2 panel trees for Central Park, and that's going to be a 2020 project.
So cool. It's so nice to see the downtown getting beautified for the holiday.
It is gorgeous.
Just a quick update on the 2019 lead water service lateral replacements. It's done. I'm happy to report. As of November the 15th, a total of 163 lead service laterals have been replaced, meeting the DNR requirements that 7% of such services be replaced this year, combined with 162 LSLs replaced in 2018. It's a total of 325. So
Right.
good news for healthy drinking water in the city.
Right.
Yep.
And we met the burden that was put, you know what I mean by burden. I mean, this is what the DNR wanted from us. And all I can say is that Ross Blaha and his crew over at the ultrafiltration department did a spectacular job of keeping us on course and getting this done and with no hiccups.
Excellent.
That I'm aware of.
Excellent.
So, and just a shout out here, the Cobblestone Hotel project, if you haven't already noticed, is well underway.
Yeah, if you never drive downtown and check things out, you're going to want to go check this out. This is new building that's happening on the site of the old Cedar hardware store.
Right.
And the foundation is poured, the wood frame is coming up pretty fast, and the concrete blocks for the elevator are in place. So it's coming together quick.
It was really fast, and it seems like the shaft for the elevator went up really.
It's like overnight.
Quickly.
Yeah.
And this was during bad weather too.
Yeah.
It was unseasonably cold.
Working
and
their hearts
snow,
out. Yeah.
So they're doing a spectacular job.
Quick update about the former Unimart property, 2023 Washington Street. The DNR has approved the Section 75.106 agreement, which I'm sure you're all familiar with the city on October 1st, 2019. That agreement allows the county to assign its rights in the property tax foreclosure on this property to the city. So the city board approved assignment of its tax foreclosure rights on October the 28th. And this property has about 150 feet of frontage on Washington Street, but it's also relatively shallow. It only goes about 60 feet back. The city's goal is to pursue private redevelopment of the property to return it to a productive economic use. And arrangements have been made for a walkthrough inspection by the structural engineer. That's going to be happening this month.
Right. Yeah. And Paragon Partners Foreclosure and Sheriff's Sale. Circuit Court Judge Mark Rohr considered the city-county motion for award of sale on October the 15th. City and county representatives were the only parties present for the hearing. Judge confirmed the sheriff's sale for the joint bid of the city and county, which was in the amount of $705,100.
Say, dang, I'll buy it.
I know. And approved a deficiency judgment. This was important. A deficiency judgment of $534,900 against Paragon Partners and the co-makers and guarantors of the city and county loans. City attorney prepared and filed with the court a proposed order awarding sale and awarding the deficiency judgment based on Judge Rohr's ruling. The judge signed that order on October 23rd. City Council and the BIDC met jointly on October 28th to address the property. A 5-member committee with reps from those two bodies has been established to work with staff on issues related to the property. City's Community Development Director, Elizabeth Runge, who's new and she's really cool, has prepared, and we've seen this, the request for proposals to solicit proposals for purchase reuse of the property. Really well done. The RFP was recently released and forwarded to development organizations and realtors statewide and regionally.
Good stuff. And then we also have the Hometown Christmas Parade, which is coming up. That's on Saturday, November the 30th at 5:30 p.m. Route runs from 22nd to 16th Street, organized by Two Rivers Main Street. We're going to hear a little bit more about that from Roger Russove, the Main Street Minute. It is sponsored by the Shoreline Credit Union. Always a nice time every year.
Absolutely. And so like Todd said in the opener, we are going to have a new segment that we're going to try out, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But I just decided to call it "How's It Hanging?"
Yeah.
And
tell us more about this.
So, and I'll be shooting this independently, and then I will insert it into our final video. But we're sitting in this portion of the gallery today, so that you could already be admiring who the spotlight is going to be on tonight. And this is Bill Turk, and Bill was he was one of the hosts of the WCGO remote broadcast that we did, and those were our last 2 episodes. Because it was such a big deal, it made 2 episodes for us. So anyway, and he hadn't painted in quite a while, and I just talked to him yesterday, and guess what? He's painting.
You gave him the bug. Yeah.
After being here, and of course we had gone on an art run, and I had picked up his stuff. Now that his art was hanging again, it re-inspired him. So that's something I'm really, really happy about.
It's really like the way that he captures figures is really interesting. Like the interactions between, like some of the big canvases here, which I'm sure you're going to show. This is sort of the interplay between the people pictured.
Yeah,
is just fascinating to see.
Oh, I know.
It's a little deceptively cartoony, but almost kind of like in like an edgy Ralph Bakshi 70s picture.
Yeah.
So like they're a little seedy almost.
I know.
Yeah, it's very cool. Yeah.
Chicago scenes.
Yeah.
Seedy is part of it.
It's great. It's great. Even like the little rat by the fire hydrant is
I know.
kind of cool. So yeah. So I think that's going to be a really fun segment to do.
It will. Yeah. Well, there's so much new art in here, and there's so many new artists that we're representing, and of course 85% are local, that I thought that that would be part of our arts. That would be a small portion of our art segment, is just let people who live in this area have a little spotlight.
Yeah.
Otherwise, that's it for news.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're going to probably ease off on announcing so many events on the show because of the great new website.
Oh, I forgot about that. Look at that.
I mean, obviously there's things going on at the Lester, the Two Rivers Senior Center, and the Parks and Rec Department.
Right.
You can get detailed information on all of these events at the ExploreTwoRivers.com website. If you haven't already, point your browser there, check it out, subscribe.
Right.
Because there's just going to be more and more there over time. And as we go through the city branding process, that's going to be one of the first places, I think, where the brand gets expressed.
Right.
For the city. And so we're excited about that. And I think all the events there are kept up to date by some of the staff in the Lester Public Library, as well as Lisa, who works at the city office. So if you have events, in fact, this is exciting, I'll just mention this. We're just now opening the ability to submit an event to the ExploreTwoRivers.com website. So our site developer, Pat McKenna of Mojo Web Productions, giving you a plug, Pat, did a great job creating this website for city events. And there's now what you're going to see is an option in the main menu to submit an event.
Okay.
You register for the account, for an account, and then you submit your event, and then it becomes a pending event that we review. And there's some policies for it that you should read.
Right.
But yeah, you can get your own events put up on the website now.
Well, I knew that was in the works, so I'm glad to hear that it's gotten to this point.
Yep.
One thing I did want to mention, though, is and like Todd said, go to ExploreTwoRivers.com. Two Rivers Senior Center, you have a community Thanksgiving coming up.
That's great.
So go on the website and find out the particulars about that.
Hello, everybody. We're back for that part of the show that I know you're all waiting for. It is the Main Street Minute with Roger Russove, Director of Two Rivers Main Street Program. Welcome, Roger. Glad to have you back.
Welcome. It's good to be back.
Yeah.
Well, it's been a little while.
It has, yeah, and I hope we get right into the normal classy groove that we always have when we record these
yes, that's exactly.
Classy's
you
2
nailed
doors
it. Yeah.
down, man. We're in the wrong building. That's okay. We'll try and class it up a little bit for you.
There you go.
Well, classy or not, we know you're crushing it. So why don't you tell us what's going on with Two Rivers Main? Like that was a good transition.
That was awesome.
Yes, right.
That's why I keep him around. That's all right.
The comic relief, right? We're gonna get traded in for the comic relief. Anyways, yes. Tell us about Two Rivers Main Street.
All right, I'd like to talk about an event that was just held a week or so ago. It was our first show of hands event. And we've talked about that a lot on the show leading up to it in the past. The concept behind it is that it's a local crowdfunding type event where we accept proposals from people, from organizations and businesses, invite 4 of the people that made those proposals up to do a 4-minute presentation on stage. And then the people that had paid to be spectators at the event for their $5 admission fee gets them a vote. And the proposal that gets the most votes gets the money that's collected at the door, as well as any sponsorship money that we get, okay? And first one was held, like I said, about a week and a half ago. Attendance was okay, and people had a lot of fun. I think the event was very well run. And I think now that people have a better understanding, we'll see better attendance at the next one. We had 4 presentations.
Where was this held?
It was held, at Sepia Chapel.
Okay.
It was absolutely gorgeous. If you've never been to Sepia Chapel, you got to go check it out. It's an amazing, beautifully designed place.
Yeah, I found out that was Todd's first time there.
Yeah, it was the
So
first
he was
time.
super for the
Really?
first time. Yep.
I can't believe it's taken me that long to go through the doors.
It's
but yeah,
awesome
yeah.
there.
It's so beautiful.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And Gina Cron, who did the design for the place, has such an eye, for just taking the classic elements of the old church and turning it into this just beautiful event venue. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
I agree. And it was perfect location. It really was. The 4 presenters that we had, one of them was our own Todd Nilsson, presenting for show of hands.
Two Rivers Biz Starts.
Excuse me, Two Rivers Biz Starts. I'm sorry. Yes, looking for money to maybe do some different things with presenters for Biz Starts and things like that in the following year.
You didn't tell me you were doing that.
Well, you were sick.
Was I not supposed to say anything? I'm sorry.
No.
Oh, okay.
I would
Okay.
have showed up in my PJs and my snot rag. I wouldn't have cared.
As I was saying, you were sick.
Yes.
And-
Thank you for not saying anything.
What I would like to say about it is, it was an honor to do the presentation. I was excited to be among the company. Everybody else was much better prepared than I was to give their 4-minute pitch. But I will say it was a really painless thing to get up and do, in front of a group, very welcoming, warm audience. And I think for anybody in the community that has an idea, and rather than taking your grief to Facebook and complaining about things, get your butt down to the next one of these and do something, because I think it's a super worthwhile cause. I have a bit of in on that. Anyways, sorry.
All right, that's okay.
Sorry, not sorry. Right?
Sorry, not sorry.
We also had actually Gina Cron from Sepia presented a concept for an outdoor activities rental facility with unique things like 6-passenger pedal bikes that look like Model Ts,
Awesome.
or 8-passenger
Yeah.
golf carts that look like Model
That's
Ts.
such a cool idea. You've been grooving on it. Yeah.
Okay.
Clear bottom kayaks.
Oh.
I mean, just some really unique, neat, and different things.
Okay.
And the third presentation was Sunday Abbey, it was called. A couple that is interested in opening a brewery.
Yep.
And their proposal was based around the St. John's Church property,
Oh.
and they would focus on Belgian-style beers because that has a lot of religious ties to Europe, and then the 4th one in the winter was actually a program from the Manitowoc Two Rivers YMCA. They're starting a new program for people dealing with Parkinson's. It's called Rock Steady. They have people that are members of the YMCA here that get taken to or drive to Sheboygan or Green Bay to participate in this now. It's a boxing-based program that helps slow down the progress of Parkinson's disease.
Really?
Yes, yes. And two employees from the Y did the presentation. They had a blast with it.
They were
a lot
really
of
good.
fun. They were. It was very obvious that the 2 of them practiced together
Oh yeah.
quite a bit before they did the presentation, and that was our winner.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
they actually got
They came with their boxing gloves and everything.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It was a very energetic presentation.
Yeah. Yeah. So they got a total of $740 to go toward this project, and the bulk of the project is being funded by the Y1 sponsor, but they need to get instructors certified, and that's what they're looking for this money to do specifically.
Okay.
And like I said, everybody there enjoyed it. I think a good time was had by all. Got some sponsorship commitments down the road for this event in the
Oh
future.
my goodness.
And our target now, February 1st, is when we'll start accepting applications for the April event.
Yeah, because you were going to go twice a year.
Yep.
With this. Okay,
Yep.
good.
We
I
don't have
plan on not being sick for the next one.
Well, that's good. That's good. Because we'd like to have you there. I think you would enjoy it.
Oh, I was so angry. I wanted to go so bad. I really, really did. So.
Now, one of the rules of this is if you're the winner, you've got to go back and present and talk about like what you did as a result. So,
Okay.
so there is some community accountability. I
Yes.
just can't take the money and go, ha ha ha, time for vacation, right? Which
No,
is not what I was going to do at all.
Of course. Of course not. Todd.
Down payment on the new Mini.
Yeah.
We have too much fun doing these. Okay.
I know.
Anyways.
Yeah, and Todd's exactly right. They have to sign a financial commitment form that lists out expectations for when the money is spent, exactly how the money is spent. Past winners will be invited to the next event, or maybe even the next two, to do a presentation to talk about how they've spent the money. So people will get to, well, as these move forward, people will get a better feel for what was done, how the money was used, and what reasons they should have to send an application for the next one. And the application process in February will be the same as it was for this one. We'll have the application, a very simple form to fill out on the Main Street, the website at tworiversmainstreet.com. And they submit there, and we'll pick 4 of the applicants and go
Wow.
forward from there. So sometime in April, I don't have a specific date yet, but sometime in April is when we'll do the next live presentation event at
Okay.
CPR again.
For the one that you just had,
Mhm.
your inaugural
Yep.
one.
Yep.
How many people applied?
6.
Okay, but you had to pick out. Then
Well, one
There's
of them eliminated themselves because they obviously didn't read what was said on the website, and I had contacted them, and when they found out that they had to get up in front of people and do a presentation, they walked away from it.
oh really?
Yes,
Oh.
they were uncomfortable with that aspect of it, which obviously is the key to the whole thing.
It's kind of
Right.
the event.
Yes,
right? Yeah.
exactly.
But that is out of some people's comfort zone
Yep.
so broadly.
Yes.
Oh well, but you ended up,
Mhm.
I mean that's pretty good for the, right out of the gate to have at least 6 people interested, and then you were able to have your 4.
Yep. And I think as the word kind of spreads around that we've done this, and we'll continue to kind of, once the announcement goes up, maybe a little before, we can mention it again here on the show.
Mhm.
I think there'll be a lot more people applying in future ones we do, because I mean the event as a concept definitely works. So I think we'll have a lot of fun and do a lot of good for the community as a result.
That's the hope.
So what else you got coming up?
Well, obviously we're getting toward the Christmas season here.
What?
And so one of a lot of people's favorite events in Two Rivers is the Hometown Christmas Parade, which will be on Saturday, November 30th at 5:30, downtown. The parade runs, just so you know, from 22nd Street to 16th Street, straight down Washington Street. It's short and sweet because sometimes the weather isn't the most cooperative. But a couple other things that we have to tie in with that. That Saturday, of course, the Saturday after Thanksgiving, is Small Business Saturday, and it's a day when you're done with the Black Friday. Let's go stand in line at 3:00 in the morning to save $10 on a TV day, and it's a day to refocus people to shopping at the local businesses in their community. And we have partnered with Shoreline Credit Union to do something. We twist the name a little bit. We call it Shop Hometown Two Rivers. Okay, and of course Shoreline is your hometown credit union. They have a credit card that is really designed to gear people to shop at local businesses to start with. And what we do with them in this partnership, we choose a small business headquarters, and it's a non-retail place, so there's no clutter or anything. And this year we'll be using the Whitecap Insurance Agency office in the 1800 block, so right here on Washington Street. Yep.
Okay.
Starting at 9:00, we'll be handing out goodie bags to people. We'll have 200 goodie bags to hand out
Okay.
to the first 200 people to come to the door. Okay. Those goodie bags will have gift certificates from businesses. They'll have cool city cash certificates in them. They'll have flyers from businesses that would like to put something in them. But in order to get their goodie bag, they have to give us their cell phone number. Okay. Then every hour, on the hour starting at 10:00, we will call one of those cell phone numbers. they will have 15 minutes to get back to the
Your
hometown Two Rivers headquarters.
Okay.
And if they make it in 15 minutes, they get a $25 Cool City Cash certificate. If they don't, that one gets added to the next one, and at 11 o'clock, their phone call is worth $50.
Okay.
You know, I participated in this last year. I'm still waiting for my call, but when it comes in, it's going to be a lot of money.
You keep waiting.
Yeah.
You just keep waiting.
You'll have to try again this year, Todd.
Oh, okay. It's a really fun event. I'm glad you're doing it again.
And it's great to see people downtown, and I mean, hey, let's face it. The idea behind this is, if you give us your cell phone number and you go to Manitowoc to shop at Harbor Town, and we call you, you're not going to be able to get back here in 15 minutes.
Right.
So if you want to win your prize, you need to be shopping
You gotta
downtown.
shop
You're
here.
shopping in Two Rivers. And that's the premise behind it. That's really the premise behind Small Business Saturday in general, on a national basis. And it's great to have a unique way to tie into something that's really a national event.
Right.
And I look forward to doing this type of thing for many years to come.
You know, there was a really great article in the HTR today. It was through Art Forward, and it was written by the gal who owns and runs Glaze and Paint in Manitowoc.
Okay.
It's a pottery ceramics shop.
Okay.
Well, anyway, and she was talking about that Saturday
Mhm.
and the benefits of shopping locally and what it does for our economy and for the shop owners and the people who are employed. So I just wanted to give a shout out to that article because it hits the nail on the head. And I know we've talked about it in the past, the importance of shopping locally.
Well, the fact behind it, the biggest fact behind it, is that for every dollar that you spend at a local business here in Two Rivers, 68 cents of that dollar stays here in Two Rivers. If you spend that dollar in Two Rivers, but at a chain store, only 43 cents of that dollar stays in Two Rivers. And of course, if you go to parts further away or you shop online, none of that money stays here in the community. And I perfectly understand there's certain things you can't buy in Two Rivers. There are things you can't find here. You can't buy appliances here, for example. But I think that people need to realize how important it is that the money that they bring into the community, how important it is for that money to stay here. And that extra 25% of the money that they spend staying here in the community is money that does things like sponsoring youth baseball teams and bringing events to the community through sponsorships like the Cool City Classic Car Show or Bands on the Beach or anything like that. The Christmas decoration project,
Right.
for example. That money that stays here in the community is money that makes all of those things possible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Going to do all of my corporate gift shopping here for sure this year. All my clients down in Milwaukee, I'm going to give them a taste of Two Rivers. That's what they get.
And that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And for people out there who are thinking, I don't know what to buy somebody as their Christmas shopping, Cool City Cash is available at the Two Rivers Main Street office. You can buy basically any dollar amount that you want. It's the bearer of that certificate can use it at over 25 different businesses in Two Rivers. So it's a great way to spend the money here in Two Rivers and keep those people getting their gifts here in Two Rivers.
Right.
That's great. That's great.
Oh, I like that idea.
Well, Roger, as always, we feel edified and uplifted by your visitation. Mark.
We're not worthy.
He's keeping it classy, I see.
I'm very classy, nothing but class. I ooze class.
I think you're oozing caffeine right now or something
No,
because
no,
you're losing your mind.
Not on anything at all.
Brandy barrel aged amber.
I'm high on life, let me tell you. No, seriously, just wonderful to see you again as always,
Yeah.
Roger, and we'll look forward to the next time you're able to come on the show.
Sounds good. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
having me on.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yep.
And now on to your next meeting.
On to my next car show.
Oh, to be continued.